The online racing network proudly presents Core Season 3 for the DriveThrough Designs 100K. We're coming to you from a very old Canadian Tire Motorsports Park here in Bowmanville, Ontario, Canada. I sure hope I got the province right. I don't know Canada, so sue me. Meanwhile, we're here at Canada getting set to go for 40 laps here from Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. It's set to be a great race and hopefully a little cleaner than last week's race at Lanier when we broke the record for the most caution flags in a race with 18 yellow flags. I think Barney had to seek some physical therapy and some emotional therapy after last week, but he's back on the flag stand and we're here ready to go. Jacob Hitz, Trace Rider here with you for the call once again, and boy, this racetrack is going to bring a lot of excitement for us.
Oh, yeah, I hope so. You mentioned last week we broke the record, also broke me. It was very, very painful there at the end of the race. So I feel optimistic because I feel like we're going to get everybody bunched up early on, and then we're going to break off into our own separate races because you got some stacked field at varying different speeds. So, and there's going to be some incidents, people going off, spinning out, whatever might have it. So, you know, I'm excited.
Before we get to everything else that we have going on here from Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, Cody Workman, our pit reporter, has some updates on some of the drivers in the field. In fact, all three of them from the country of Canada. Here's Workman with more. What you got?
Hey guys, happy race day here north of the border. Well, first off, DriveThrough here is our points leader, and talking before the race, he says that the car is absolutely flawless and knows the track very well. And remember, last year he had that great battle with Sloppy Joe over on the NASCAR Heat side of things, wasn't able to get the win there. But he would say that anything less than getting a win here tonight would be disappointing, especially because he thinks he needs to get some points ahead of Cozy, especially knowing that we're going to one of Cozy's best racetracks next week at Martinsville. The 03 of Keenan Kusian, he feels really good about tonight. We talk about whether or not if we have, some of the underlying road course ringers in this series, and Keenan says that road courses is where he's specialized at. Corey has been really training him in these ovals, so he's finally excited to come to a road course tonight, and he feels like he has a chance to win. And also, Gary Owen hasn't been the best start of the season for Gary, but he did rack up his second top 10 finish of the season last week at Lanier, and that was coming through having to battle through some really tough adversity, and he's making some good lap times here tonight, so we will see if he can continue that rebound.
Difficult for a drive-through, already starting 6th on the grid for the one of the three Canadians. Best of those three is Keenan the Kia Kusan, starting on the outside pole.
Yeah, how about this outside row? The first three in the outside are the three that we just talked about. You got Keenan second, Gary fourth, and then DriveThrough sixth. DriveThrough, something went wrong on his first qualifying lap, did not set a time on that first qualifying lap, so only his second lap counted. He's stuck back in the 6th position with Kyle Cuthbertson starting in the 5th spot. Let's run us through the grid here, Trace.
Sure, starting on the pole, the man, the myth, the legend, Michael Cozy Jr. in the 99. Outside of him, as we mentioned, Keenan Kusan starting second in the 03. Behind them, Ryan Burton in the all-pink 30 will start in 3rd place. Outside of him, Gary Owen, another of the Canadian, part 2 of the Canadian freight train of the outside of the row. In the 24, will start 4th. Kyle Cuthbertson will start 5th in the 91 with our final of the trio. Davin Cornelius starting outside of him in the 77. New sponsor on that car this week as well. Benjamin Easterday will start behind them. He will start in the, that is the 7th spot for the 53. And outside of him, Justin Champagne in the 23. Those two have a little bit of a history together. See how that plays out over the course of the race. And then behind them, Kamikaze Games in the 06 will start 9th, and Cody Hicken will round out the top 10 in the 28.
And in 11th, we've got the 69 car who burst through the door at the last possible second, Harry Tiller. I think he missed the grid.
Did he miss the grid? Oh, my God.
Harry Tiller is not on the racetrack right now. Also in that row is Michael Frisch. Now you see him. Then in the next row, you've got the 27 of Dale Reynolds, who I guess is now starting 11th, and then Joey Stone Sloppy Joe in the 14th spot in the 8 machine. In row number 8, rounding out the field of now 15 cars, the 22 of Brendan Littell.
And appearing in chat, though not on the track, one Rusty Walrus. Everybody say hi. Rusty's sharing the sentiment of some of the drivers in the Cord not wanting to pop the $15 for this track. And you know what? I really don't blame them. There's a lot of dead grass around here. They really didn't put a lot of money into the presentation. That's a bit of an L for Canada there on that one.
Well, this track also hasn't really been scanned since like 2009 or something like that.
A lot of these runoffs, some of these runoff areas are now paved too. So like I get it. I can't blame the man. The only reason I have it is because I got $15 in site credit. So, you know.
Looking at the weather here at CTMP, track temp's 100 degrees, air temp 76, 3-mile-an-hour wind out of the north. And we can't really have a race summary yet because nothing's happened. Meanwhile, through 3 and 4 they go. We are underway here from CTMP. Green flags in the air and off we go.
And into turn 1 they go. Kusan got a great jump and has the outside lane through turn 1. The difficult place to make the pass. Cozy on the inside. Just try to clear him. Oh, Kusan is wide.
Kusan!
Oh, he looked out.
Oh, big crash. Gary Owen involved, and look out, guys. Caution is out.
2 of the 3 parts of the Canadian freight train dead in turn 1.
And that just saved Harry Tiller because he just came off pit road after missing the grid. So the caution is out on lap 1, turn 2.
We had seen this in practice. A lot of these drivers getting loose in turn 1. And spinning, most pros, notably, saw Sloppy Joe do it a bunch of times. Interested to see Kusan. Rare mistake for him, as he'd had a really good practice. Just got a little wide, caught the grass just enough, lost the car.
Get a replay here. Unfortunately, I rerouted a little too far back. But, so here they are, heading off into turn number 1. Cozy and Kusan side by side. You really don't want to go into turn 1 side by side because there's not a lot of room for the guy on the inside to come up out of the corner. There's no runoff here, and Kusan gives him too much room, goes wide, gets into the grass. That gets him sideways. He couldn't save it, and Gary Owen just ran into the back of him as he was trying to save it, and they both went off into the wall. No safer barrier there, no tire barriers there. And the 2 Canadians in the field are already in 2 of the 3 Canadians, rather, are in trouble already.
And you know who's got to be feeling pretty good about that is the 3rd Canadian, who has now been gifted a couple of spots.
Yeah, he's now 3rd. He started in 6th.
He was number 1 in practice for a while, fell off of it. He's got a good race pace, so now, the 77 sitting 3rd. Keep an eye on him. And you see, it's rare you see Canadian on Canadian violence, or that you see Canadian violence at all. So, very interested. The only 2 people affected by that wreck were the 2 Canadians.
And now the big question here is, do you use your fast repair or not? We've got a lot of race left. The stage length 10 laps, then another set of 10, and then the final stage of 20. Fuel windows around 14 laps. Do you risk taking your fast repair here and then just hoping you don't get involved in any other contact the rest of the way?
I think the move was to take it, and that's exactly what Gary...
Both of them, yep.
Yeah, that's exactly what Gary and Keenan took. And Tiller on pit road again already. So
yeah, and he's not even in his pit box. He is past his pit box.
I'm not sure if he's having technological issues inside that car, but
now he's rolling again. I don't know. But Harry's here, and that's what matters. Michael Cozy Jr. is your race leader. Then it's Ryan Burton in the 30, DriveThrough in the 77, Justin Champagne in the 23, and Kyle Cuthbertson in the 5th spot, rounding out to the top 5.
And then followed by them, you got Easter Day, Hicken, Kamikaze Games, Plenty of Frisch, and Dale Reynolds will round out the top 10. We have not even had a full turn here at CTMP, and the action is already turned up.
Workman's got an update for us. What you got?
Well, Ken Kusan, he did indeed use his fast repair already. He says, quote, he doesn't think he'll have to use it the rest of the race, considering he didn't think there's going to be that much action. But, I don't know, we'll see what happens. He said what happened as far as coming off turn 1. He heard Cozy dropping it down in the 2nd gear, and it was really trying to beat him up off the corner, try to come out with the lead. He just couldn't get those rear tires to hook up, and that's why he drifted out into the grass.
The infamous tire spin.
Yeah. Well, he did the same thing last night, actually, in that same spot in the practice race last night, battling drive-through for the lead. Kusan got a little wide, may have gotten a little bit of help from drive-through, but still got wide nonetheless, got into the grass, tried to save it, but didn't hit the brakes. Drive-through didn't get into him, and Kusan overcorrected it and got into that same wall. So that's not the first time that Kusan's been in that situation, tried to save it tonight and paid the price with Gary Owen going up the rear of his car. Couple of cars to pit road here. Joey Stone, Brendan Littell, I believe they're topping off with fuel, and Harry's back on pit road.
And I'm certain that the Canadians wanted to have an all-Canada 1, 2, 3 for this, so this is going to put a bit of a wrench in that plans. But plenty of race to go. We got 2 stages, and then the 2 stages at 10 laps. Final stages, I think you said 20 laps. Yep. So still plenty of race left to go. Anything could happen from here on out. We might still see an all-Canada 1, 2, 3.
It's possible, and I believe, tough to tell on the pace truck, lights are still on. Hopefully they go out once they hit the Mario Andretti straightaway. I'll have to wait and see. Otherwise, these are going to be some very long caution laps.
Coming through, let me totally not pull up the track map here. We're going through turn 4 into turn 5. The tightest turn on the track.
Yeah, this is going to cause a lot of trouble spots. That turn right there, it's very tight. And get too wide on exit, you get the grass, and then you really lose control coming onto the fastest straightaway that we have here.
And if you're not conscious of the guy on the inside of you, you could wind up spinning yourself out on his nose. So,
yep.
Turn 1, turn 5, the 2 biggest chances for wrecks, I would say. Turn 1 has been catastrophic for some drivers in practice.
You also have turn 2. Remember, there's no paved runoff over there in turn 2.
There's really not a good turn here.
That's right.
Unless you want to count 6 and 7, which aren't really turns.
It's the straightaway.
There's not a chance to screw. Somebody's blinking. And it is
Champagne. Yep. So we'll see if that continues.
Still on the pace truck.
Yep. So we'll do another lap. Just a note about this racetrack in the core. I was told we've had 3 races here, and I'm not sure how that adds up when this is the 3rd season. But every time we've come here, we've had a different winner, and we have the potential to add another one to that list tonight. Just have to wait and see. Looks like we're going to get a restart here with 4 laps in the books, at least I hope so. Pace truck crosses the start-finish line, and the lights are out on the pace truck. So everybody's going to double up here, and we'll get back to rolling.
And it's interesting, because if you're on the inside lane, you get the inside of turn 1. However, you are put immediately on the outside of turn 2, which can be a problem. And a bit of a trouble spot for some of these drivers. So we'll see how this stacks up. I don't know what everybody's preference is going to be. If they want to be on what would be, I guess, the outside of turn 1 to take the inside of turn 2, or if they would rather line up on the inside of turn 1 to get the run and the whole shot and try to close the door before they can hit before they're stuck on the outside of turn 2. Just an interesting bit of race strategy that these drivers are probably cycling through. In between probably looking at memes at the same time, I don't really know what these guys do in their car, but it's all up to them.
You never know. So we still have everybody on the racetrack. We've got 5 cars that have made pit stops under this caution flag. Harry's been on pit road twice under this caution.
I'm not sure what Harry's doing there.
Yeah, I don't know either, but he stayed out that last time by, so that's what matters.
I think the person who benefited the most from that caution was Harry Tiller. So,
well, you're right, because now he's close to the back of the pack. Earlier, he was going to be about 5 or 6 seconds behind everybody else. He got off of pit road as Owen and Kusan's cars were coming to a stop.
And I have to add, Champagne started 8th on the grid, is already up to 4th. One of the more aggressive drivers on the grid. Has not made a lot of friends. Has been rubbed a couple people the wrong way, from what I've heard talking to these guys.
Yeah, that's kind of been the theme that I've picked up from the drivers, is that they haven't been real appreciative of some of the things that Champagne has done on the racetrack, but he's been awfully fast.
You got to respect the speed, but I mean, you don't have to like how he does it. So.
Yep.
And here we come in through the S's, heading into the final turn, and we're about to go back green. And I would watch out on turn 1 again. Very well could have another full course yellow here.
Yeah, these guys are on heat cycle tires at this point. Champagne still blinking. Green flag's back in the air. We're back racing, and Cozy with a great jump on the inside as they head back to turn 1.
And I'll tell you who else got a great jump is DriveThrough in the 77 into turn 1. Here we go. Cozy, Davin, Rhino, and Champagne top 4 battling for that 5th spot. I can't see. It looks like Easter Day and Hicken, maybe?
Cuthbertson.
They
made it, and speaking of Hicken, Cody is going off. Hang on to it, hang on to it, hang on! Drifting it through the grass! Saved it.
Saved it.
Hangs onto the car.
Keeps 4 wheels underneath it. That's one of the more dangerous things about racing at CTMP is that if you catch that grass, you're going to have to get back, start stalling the wheel, and keep that thing underneath of you. They're side by side. Frisch
Go, Frisch! Hang on to it, and he does. Here comes Cuthbertson trying to stick it up the inside of the 23. That won't work. 58 gets around Easter Day on the outside. They head up the straight.
I'll have to say, even though he didn't get the advantageous entrance of turn 5, that exit, he took the racing line through the exit and cut Ben off before he could get any kind of run. And he's already working on Cuthbertson heading down the Mario and Andretti straightaway.
Frisch took last week off, and now he's here knocking on the door of a top 5 as we try to complete the first lap under green. Battle further back. Sloppy Joe looking underneath KG through turn 7. That's turn 8, rather. I can read.
Yeah, turn 8 into 9, and now into 10. KG shut the door. Joey's going to have to try again.
Brendan Littell losing a spot. 1 to Kusan, now 1 to Gary Owen, and we've completed 1 lap under green here at CTMP. We're halfway through stage 1.
Huzzah! And I'll tell you what, Cozy and DriveThrough teching out up here at the front. Already putting 3-4 car lengths on that 3rd place spot. And Rhino, interested to see Champagne not be able to make a move. Interesting. We were talking about how fast he's been.
Cozy got a little wide there coming out of turn 2, got the grass, was able to keep the car straight, but that's going to allow that 77 to start to close him in.
Yeah, DriveThrough probably trying to play the long game, I would assume. Cuthbertson blinks out of existence and back into it. But I would assume DriveThrough probably going to try to play the long game here. Wants to keep his car up front and be there at the end. That would be the my strategy running here, so I really guess I shouldn't really speak for him.
But he also wouldn't mind the win, the stage win for points, just because Cozy is 2nd in points right now behind the driver of the 77.
Yeah, DriveThrough trying to maintain that points lead, and this is his best track to keep adding to that, I would say, on the schedule. And it looks like Cozy had a better set of series of turns through 5, launched him down the straight.
Now into turn 9. And then into turn 10.
Not much of a change. It looks like... Ooh. Rhino got under that inside curb there. It looks like the top 5 is going to stay the same.
And here comes Frisch now to the inside of Cuthbertson to turn 1. This is for 5th. Not much of a battle. Michael Frisch to P5.
P5 for plenty of Frisch in the 58. And again, I mean, Champagne looks like he hit a wall.
Yeah.
From 8th to 4th, and has not even on challenging Rhino for that 3rd spot.
Yeah, you wonder maybe
might be a long game. We're trying to be save some tires for these stages, but
yeah,
hard to tell with these guys, especially with somebody as aggressive and as fast as Champagne to be holding off this much. I'm not sure if that's the track or if it's him playing the strategy game, but I guess we're gonna find out. Everybody makes
turn 5, and up the straightaway once again.
Down to the Mario Lopez straightaway.
Cody Workman's got an update for us on pit strategy. What you got?
Well, guys, here's the thing with how big this racetrack is and the stage end coming up here is that you have some guys who could possibly take the strategy of coming down pit road here this lap and coming out and staying on the lead lap. So, Trace, let me ask you, we only had a couple of green flag laps, but if you're those guys in the back, especially Keenan and Gary, who were caught up in that early incident, do you come here and pit before the stage end?
I think in a track like this, it actually would be more advantageous to do so if you're at the back, especially those guys trying to make up that time, because you're going to lose a bunch of time to the leaders, but with the stage ending like that, you might wind up back up. You're going to wind up back at the front at the start of the next stage, and then you're immediately back in the race. So I think it actually might be more advantageous to take that pit stop if you're those guys in the back.
But then once everybody else pits at the stage break, you're going to be on the older tires and going to be a sit and duck heading into the first corner, and that's when we could see some wrecks happening with the old tires versus the new tires. Gary Owens back on pit road. And
I guess it depends on when you take that pit stop, too, because if you're only going to go right at the last lap you can, that gives you 2 laps plus, I guess, pace laps.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess it really depends. It really depends.
I guess Gary took advantage of that, and I think Brendan Littell may have also made a stop here. I'm not 100% sure on that. I think he did. Battery just spun, and I missed it.
I mean, and I think if you're going to make that play like Owen, I think, is trying to do...
Cody H. Gaming has a lot of damage on his car.
Whoa.
Taking a look at the replay. This is coming into turn 5. Caught a little bit of the grass in turn 4. Going into 5 and just overshot it. Locked up the tires and got the left front into the tire barrier. Hard shot for him. He's still rolling. Did not... Well, he's off in turn 8 right now, and he's got a little too much camber on the left front of that car. I think he might come to pit road this time by. Nope, he's going to stay out there. He wants to finish the stage as we've got 2 to go in stage 1.
And getting back to tire strategy a little bit, with Gary Owen taking that pit stop now, even if he falls back to 5th or 6th, he's in a better place than he's been all of stage 1. So it might just be a better track position move to make that tire stop early if you want to be up there for that last stage. Michael
Frisch to P4, passes Champagne on the run to turn 5.
And I'll tell you what, plenty of Frisch looking real good.
Yep.
Real good. And I would be worried if I was those guys up front, because if he gets up there, I mean, he's not going to go quietly.
Well, and in practice, it was, at the top, it was Cozy, then Frisch, then Gary Owen, then DriveThrough, then Kusan. That was the top 5 in practice. It got a little broken up there with Cuthbertson in qualifying, but, I mean, right now, Frisch is picking his way through the field, and he's looking pretty good as Champagne's coming to pit road with 1 lap to go in stage 1.
Champagne going to make the tire strategy play, I think, that looks like. I thought was pit road closed with? I thought it was closed with 2 to go with the...
I'm the wrong person to ask.
All right.
I really have no idea. Cozy coming through turn 2, headed to turn number 3. He's got about a second gap over DriveThrough in that 77 car. So very shortly, we may be talking to Michael Cozy Jr. after winning the first stage yet again. This would be 3 stage 1 wins in a row, I believe, for that 99 crew. At least 3 straight races with a stage win. I know we won 1 at Iowa, 1 last week at Lanier, and then 1 here, potentially in half a lap. But Michael Frisch is closing in on Ryan Burton out of 5.
And Michael Cozy Jr., the most consistent driver on the schedule. Good at most tracks he goes to. And you see him competitive every week. Is Frisch going to try to make a move through the S's here? He's got to run down the straight.
He could send it in, but there are no stage points other than winning the stage. So it really won't help him to get by. Catches a little too much of the curb.
I think he's only going to get this spot if Burton screws this last turn up, which it doesn't look like he's going to do.
Cozy wins stage 1 at CTMP, and the caution's out.
Guys, just to confirm whether or not that was legal, that was not legal. You cannot pit within 2 to go. You're taking the white flag of this, or within 2 to go of the stage. So Champagne, he will have to start the tail end of the field for stage 2.
That is what I thought.
Oops.
Interesting move by Champagne. I think he tried to play a strategy game, probably forgot the rules, might not have a spotter, or a crew chief to tell him what to do.
That, or he miscounted when the stages were. But we're under caution for the first time, and go ahead.
We're under caution for the second time. What are you talking about?
Oh shit, you're right. Yeah, we had that. We had that lap 1 crash.
That whole fiasco in turn 1.
Yeah.
So after the end of the first stage, Michael Cozy Jr. will take the green and white checkered flag, and then in order, Davin Cornelius in the 77. Oh, geez, I just punched my microphone. Rhino will finish 3rd, just ahead of Plenty of Frisch in the 58. Ryan Cuthbertson rounds out the top 5. A good run again for him so far. And then it's Keenan the Kia Kusan, clawed his way back to 6th at the end of the stage, followed by Sloppy Joe, Ben Easterday in 8th, Kamikaze Games in 9th, and Dale Reynolds will finish out the top 10. Harry Tiller, 11th place, after all of whatever was happening on pit road for him. 11th place at the end of the stage. Not bad. Cody Hicken, a little bit of damage. Probably going to take the pit stop here. Take that fast repair, I would think. Champagne will start at the end of the field at the next go-around. Then it's Littell and Gary Owen in 15th.
That rounds out the grid, and I tell you what, why don't we talk to our stage winner, since they have to go a full lap until they get to pit road. Let's talk to our stage winner, the driver of the 99, Michael Cozy Jr. Here he is.
And here he is again with a stage win. What is up, Michael Cozy Jr.? How you feel?
Not too good, but all right, I guess.
Not too good, man. You led pretty well. You know, couldn't quite shake that 77 behind you, but you lost 2 of the 3 Canadians that were in that outside freight train on you. So that's got to feel pretty good. Can't have any countrymen ganging up on you.
Yeah, well, I'd like to take care of all of them, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of the gearing around here. It's a tricky track, though. I wish I would have got a little bit more practice, but I had some issues I had to take care of first. But I'm really taking it easy that first 10 laps. So I learned a little bit there. Hopefully, I can turn it up a little bit more this run, I guess. But we'll see. I hope I don't you don't see me up there in the grass and somewhere.
Is there anywhere on the track that you're most concerned about with these guys? Like where are your best passing zones and your most vulnerable?
Honestly, it'd be easier to tell you my good corners, I guess. I think I could probably be passing all of them. I'm real weak in brake zones, and honestly, the last 2 corners, I'm all right in. Everything else, Lord help me.
A little sketchy.
Yeah, a little sketchy, just a little
like
bit.
A taco
I don't know if you caught it. I hope so, but I almost wrecked coming out of that big sweeping left-hander. I got my right rear out there in the grass.
Yep.
And it wasn't good. I thought I was wrecking.
Well, the stage is yours again, my friend. You got 2 more stages to go. Hopefully keep that 99 out front, and we'll see you in victory lane.
That's the plan. I'm about to get some pits.
So there you have it, the 99 Michael Cozy Jr. He's on pit road with everybody else. And let's switch over to this camera. And just to check, everybody is coming to pit road, except for, I believe, the 23 of Gary Owen. No, or,
24.
my brain is fried. It is Gary Owen that stays out. I thought it was Champagne at first, but it is Owen. So Gary Owen's going to take the lead. He has pitted once. He pitted just before the stage break.
Yes, and we'll take the penalty and start at the rear of the field for this.
And Dale Reynolds missed his pit.
Whoops.
So DriveThrough wins the race off pit road. Cozy still asleep in the box. He's going to come off 4th of pit road, just in front of Keenan Kusan.
And Ryan Burton comes out 2nd, and Cuthbertson in that 3rd spot. Okay.
Yeah.
That's gonna shake things up.
I would
Cozy not happy with the pit crew.
I would expect Reynolds to come in again, just so he can get tires, because he has yet to pit. He's going to need the fuel to make it through the second stage. Gary can stay out and should be able to make it to the end of the second stage. Everybody else should be fine as well. Michael Frisch is still on pit road. I thought there was damage on the left front of the car, but no, I'm just going insane. And I think Cody's getting his damage worked on right now. He is not taking his fast repair yet.
Damage might not be so bad on that 28 then if he's not going to take the fast repair, or he's anticipating worse damage, which I mean is possible.
Yeah.
Can't really tell. You know, everything's pretty much up in the air. These guys like to drive aggressively. Cozy was too far right in his box, is the word I'm getting from.
Oh wow! So we had to back up.
Yeah, he's fell to. Let's see if you get rid of Owen there and Reynolds.
Well, get rid of Reynolds. He'll be 5th because Owen should stay out here.
Owen has to go to the back.
Or what?
That was Champagne that
Yeah,
happened.
Champagne's
right.
the one that pitted too early.
My 23s and 24s are mixed up.
We both did it. Yeah, Champagne's already at the back of the field, and he'll probably drop back more once everybody else catches up.
So this is the
and Reynolds is in.
This is the tire strategy we talked about. Owen is now at the top of the board, coming across the line here. And while he might not be able to put up a fight for very long, he should wind up somewhere in the 5th to 7th range, and that's going to put him in a better striking distance for the last stage, I would think.
Yep.
All of that could go out the window, though, if we get some more yellows and he's involved in them, or if he's just get more yellows in general. They kind of just mess things up as we go around the track, so...
Well, Trace, I was watching Gary's lap times a little bit there, those last couple laps of those stages, and he really wasn't pushing it hard because there was no reason to. So, while yeah, he does have an extra couple laps on those tires, he wasn't going full speed on them. So, yeah, there is a little bit of wear on that 24 car, but maybe not as much as we may think.
That's true. That is very true. However, we go green for 10 laps. You should be able to see the tire effects between the two cars. But if we stay under yellow, or only get a couple laps in, or we run most of this under yellow, I mean, none of that matters. So, but yeah, I didn't notice that he was taking it slow. Thank you for the update, Wordman.
Makes sense to try and keep the tires clean. Just
he
a first stage update. One lead change, and it came with the pit stops. Now that Gary Owen's out in front. 2 cautions, including the stage break. And we've got 26 laps to go when we get the restart, so they're only going to have 6 laps under green in this stage as long as they don't wad them up.
Now, this has got to be like the Super Bowl for Canadians, right? Like, I think this is the only Canadian track we have on here, and we've got 2 Canadians on the front row. So, like, well, actually, let me put this in a way that they would probably. This is like the Stanley Cup to these guys to win at CTMP for the core. So,
the Calder Cup, something.
How much they battle each other heading into the turn.
Yeah, and Kusan's all the way back in the 6th spot. So he's got a long way to go, but he might be able to get there by the end of stage 2. Cozy's back there in P5, so we'll have to see how he can claw his way up through the field as well as they come up the hill and head towards turn 8.
I think this is the second week in a row that he had pit problems and wound up not in the lead after the end of the first thing. I don't know. I don't remember last week very well. There was a lot of cautions. It's hard to differentiate which caution was when.
Cody H. Gaming is way back there, and I don't think he's going to make it. Rest of the field's in turn 8. He just came out of turn 5. I don't believe he's going to make it, and they better not extend it. I like Cody and everything, but I don't want another lap of caution. Pace truck's in. Green flag's back in the air. 26 to go in the race. 6 to go in the stage.
And DriveThrough with a great jump and the whole shot into turn 1. He's going to cover off Owen there, who had the
comes
lead.
Burton.
Huffington on the outside of Burton.
Oh, and there goes Tiller.
Oh, there's Tiller through the grass.
Saved
Didn't
it.
like the way they did the landscaping. And DriveThrough's going to lead him in through turn 2.
And here comes Cozy now underneath Burton, headed for turn 3.
Cozy goes from the inside to the outside. That's the one thing about CTMP that can get dangerous, is that you wind up on the inside on one turn and immediately on the outside. And as for this set of turns, he goes from the inside. He's going to get the outside, and now he's got the spot. And he's going to take the inside line through turn.
Cozy gets by. Keenan gets by. Here comes Easterday to turn 5.
I'm not sure if Burton just had a bad start or what, but he's dropping like a rock through the field right now.
And he took 4 tires, so it's not a tire deal. Easterday... Something screwed up, because it says he was only in the pit box for 0.5 seconds. I know that's not right. So
Where did he get freaking Red Bull to do his pit stops? Dang.
I don't know. Meanwhile, battle for second, Cuthbertson and Gary Owen to turn 7, turn 8.
Cuthbertson getting more aggressive, feeling more comfortable.
Here comes Cozy.
And here comes Cozy Jr. working on Owen.
He got right to the back bumper of the 24 in turn 9. That got close. DriveThrough's going to lead his first lap of the night. Trouble! 23! Champagne saved it.
What a save by that 23. I could see the door numbers on that car coming out of that turn.
He just lost it coming out of 10. Turn left, turn right. Woo! And I mean, Sloppy Joe almost ran into the back of him.
It's a bit of a wiggle fest coming out of turn 10. Saw a couple guys get loose coming off that turn. And Kusan looking underneath of Gary Owen as they head out of turn 3 down the stretch into turn 4.
He's got it.
Kusan get the run.
So those tires aren't working at all.
Yeah,
from what I'm seeing.
I didn't think that it would be that much of a drop off, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
I think a couple of laps will be that much of a difference. So, but we'll see. I mean, if Owen can hang on, where's he at now? He's in 5th, getting run down for 6th. If he can hang out around here, even lose another spot to Ben, he should be in striking distance still for that last stage.
Here comes Ryan Burton. Around the outside, headed to turn 8.
Gonna have to take the long way around through turn 8, and these cars do not like the high side.
Yeah.
Through the road course here. Can be done, but very difficult to do.
I think he was hoping to get more alongside the car heading into the braking zone and just couldn't do it, so I figured, oh, what the heck, I'll try again next time, as Gary's blinking in and out and giving Ryan a heart attack. 4 to go in the stage.
Man, you'd think being at his home track we'd have better internet connection, but Owen blinking in and out. And
Easterday went off there. He's back on and side by side with Frisch to turn 2.
Plenty of Frisch on the outside in that 58. Now he's got the inside line. Ooh, it caught the grass a little bit there. That's not going to be too much of a factor. We'll keep him side by side with Ethan. I think EJ's just going to concede the spot there.
Yep. And the 30 got loose there coming out of turn 2, so that cost him some time, and that's going to allow Frisch to close the gap.
And Frisch on a tear. Didn't get a good set of stops. He was in 5th when they went into the pits there, so like I said, not a good run on pit road. But
and Kusan trying to get by Cuthbertson down the backstretch.
And Cuthbertson held up Cozy for a while.
Yeah.
They let DriveThrough pull out to about a 2 or 3 car length lead, and he's been able to maintain it. But now he's got consistently fast driver Michael Cozy Jr. on the back of his car.
Yeah. Now Kusan's going to have to re-rack and try it again, maybe next time by. As DriveThrough is able to maintain that gap to about 0.6 of a second or so, as Sloppy gets to the back bumper of Ben Easterday. Easterday, good everywhere, except for maybe road courses. He said that he really hates this track.
And I don't blame him. Can't really fault the guy. I think he's got some right front damage, too. That's probably not helping him out. Yeah, that right front fender is bent in a little bit, so that's probably not helping him either.
Cozy's closed the gap now. It's just about 0.3 of a second. 3 to go in stage 2.
And I'm not fast enough to have to worry about seeing Michael Cozy Jr. in my mirror, but I got to imagine that has got to be terrifying to see. That big yellow 99 coming right up the back bumper.
Especially at a road course. Next week at Martinsville, I'd understand. Here, you're in trouble.
And Cozy not able to close too much of a gap here to make a run at turn 5, but it looks like he's going to try to get a run out of 5 here as he went wide. Probably get the better rotation on the car.
He caught a little too much of the curb there on the inside. That's going to help DT on exit.
Yeah, if he didn't catch that curve, I'm going to have a better
And here comes Kusan now, trying to get by Cuthbertson again. He got a little sideways coming out of 5, and that's going to allow Kusan to get on his outside.
And the drag race down the Super Mario Brothers straightaway. Into turn 8, Kusan on the outside.
He's got
Cuthbertson got the break earlier. I think Cuthbertson gave that spot to him.
Yep. So Kusan into the top 3, coming to 2 to go in the stage.
That puts, we have a Ford, a Chevy, and a Kia is your top 3 right now.
And then a Toyota in 4th.
Lots of manufacturers being represented here. And that 91 running a Supra today.
Let's take a look back here at the battle for 8th, because this is the closest string of cars. You've got Easterday, you've got Sloppy, you've got Dale Reynolds, you've got Justin Champagne. This is 8th through 11th. 4 cars under a blanket as they head to turn 2.
And I can't tell if Easterday's holding everybody up, and that's why everybody else is bunched up. He's got a lot of damage on the right side. What happened to him?
Well, there was a point where I thought Sloppy got into the back of him coming off turn 10, but everything was just fine.
Yeah, the right side's a little crinkled.
Yep. So we need to look at that when they come under pit stops.
Should be coming over that soon, yeah?
When they get the stage break, and here's Cozy for the lead, right on the back bumper of the 77, up the hill to turn 6.
Down the Mario Kart straight away. Can Cozy get a run heading into turn 8? He's going to make, DriveThrough's going to make him work for it.
Yep.
He's going to lock that car down on the inside line, not going to give him any run.
Even with the draft, Cozy can't get anywhere. Coming to the last lap in stage 2. Can DriveThrough hang on and get his first stage win on the season? He's your points leader, trying to get his first win on the season. Make it 4 different winners in 4 different races. White flag on the stage, and Cozy's right there. DriveThrough with the block, headed to turn 1.
The nerves have got to be at an all-time high for that driver of the 77. He's got to be sweating a little bit. Man behind him has won a lot of races on iRacing.
Kusan is way too far back to be a factor here. Doesn't mean he won't be in the next stage here. Here he goes. Might have sent it in a bit too hard. DriveThrough goes wide. Cozy takes the lead.
DriveThrough locked a little bit up there. That's going to give Cozy the shot there, and he's going to probably wind up with the stage win here.
DriveThrough went to give him a little bit of room, gave him too much, almost went off course, slowed him down too much, I think, and that's, I think, gonna wrap her up here on stage 2. And Cozy goes wide. Cozy's in the grass. DriveThrough takes the lead. Kusan to second. Cuthbertson fighting for third. He's sideways. Cozy biffs it in the last corner on stage 2, or in one of the last corners on stage 2.
And Cuthbertson almost took advantage of it to take the 3rd spot in the stage, but I think just gave the spot to Cozy. Not sure. However, Kanan, the one who is gained the most from that, winds up in 2nd place at the end of the stage. He and DriveThrough swapping the front row of this stage.
DriveThrough got a gift from the gods through turn 9, headed to turn 10. He's going to do it, and the 77's going to win a stage for the first time this season. DriveThrough wins stage 2 at CTMP, and the caution's out.
What a run into stage 2 that was.
Man, oh man. That was something, huh?
Lots of action all over the track.
Yeah.
DriveThrough locks up going into turn 3, and then Cozy locks it up in turn 5 and loses the most out of that. So let's bring our stage winner in. What do you think?
Let's do that. Here is stage winner, the 77 DriveThrough. His first stage win on the season.
How's it feel to be at the top of the order, eh?
Yeah, well, it wasn't easy, I'll tell you that much. And it ain't going to be easy for the last stage. It's good. Gary tried to pull some strategy, Gabe. It didn't work out too well for him. I knew he wasn't going to be able to hold on, but he couldn't make it to turn 1. Cozy kind of set it on me a little bit, and I think he just overheated his tires because he just missed turn 5 by a long shot. So
It looked like you locked up turn 3 and he locked up turn 5, so he gave it right back to you. You're back on top of the border. Top of the order, north of the border, here at CTMP. Got to feel good. At least get a stage win in your home race. I know you want to take the full thing home, but a stage win's got to feel pretty good right about now as well.
yeah, I'll take the points, but we got some work to do still. We got some fast guys behind us.
DT, this is Workman. You got your buddy Rusty Walrus in chat giving you a little bit of a hard time on that restart.
Hey, tell him to call me when this thing's over and I'm in victory lane. He'll be the first one I dial up.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Well, congratulations on the stage win. Hopefully we'll see you in victory lane. It's really anybody's race at this point.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
There you have it. Your stage winner, DriveThrough. He, I don't know how many stages people have won this year. Pits are open. Here comes the cavalry.
I mean, we only started doing stages like 2 races into the season, so.
Well, no, we did them at Daytona.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Oh, it was the fall brawl we didn't do stages.
Correct.
Did we do stages?
We did not do stages. Harry Tiller is staying out and is your race leader.
Trying to get that.
Just
that
for
point.
reference, he was like a full minute behind everybody else at the stage break. I don't know where he was or what happened, but he was way back there, and now he's your race leader. He pitted right before the stage break, though. I think that's why he was too far back, because he only has about 2 laps on his tires. So Harry did the same thing that Gary did, except he had fresher tires, race off pit road, DriveThrough, Cozy, Ryan Burton, Justin Champagne, Michael Frisch, and the rest.
And Keenan Kusan, who lost a lot of spots on pit road again. That did not feel good.
Dale Reynolds, Leapfrog Easterday, Gary Owen back there, Hicken, Cuthbertson, he's way back there. He plummeted a lot. KG, he's still on pit road, and Brendan Littell is coming up to pass him, as well as Sloppy Joe. So KG is going to be, well, he's still sitting on pit road, and we'll see what happens when he gets back out onto the racetrack. I'm curious now, and I want to talk to him since he's actually here. I wanted to do this earlier with Gary Owen, but he's not in the Discord. Harry Tiller is. Harry, you're staying out here. You pitted right before the end of the stage. Do you think this is going to work?
Look, right. I'll be honest. I woke up about 2 minutes before the race started, thinking that the practice was starting then. I looked at my phone, and it's a good thing I've got notifications for Cozy on there, because the first thing I see when I look at my phone is going live now, and I'm thinking to myself, Cozy only goes live when it's qualifying. Oh, I've got to get going. And then, so yeah, I've done 22 practice laps, and we'll see what happens.
How do you feel on a scale of 1 to 10? Where are you at?
I'm great until I get to that one corner, which is in first gear, and yeah, you'll probably see me run off track there again. But we'll see how it goes. I just did it for a laugh.
All right, well, best of luck to you here, Harry, and
I'm gonna need it.
Well, we'll see how well the car stays on the racetrack.
Thank you.
That's Harry Tiller, your winner from Iowa a couple of weeks ago, who woke up 5 minutes before the race started, and is now your race leader with 18 laps to go, and we've got 1 lap till we get a restart.
This is gonna be interesting.
Yep.
Going into third one, the man known as the bumper biter is on the pole. Didn't pit. Ballsy strategy there.
Well, he pitted at the end of the stage. He pitted before the stage
Okay.
break.
I missed that part.
And
I got
I'm dropping frames like crazy. Why?
it. So stop, pick him up.
I'd love to. Thank you, computer. Thanks for dropping those 1,200 frames. That was really necessary.
You know, technology. At least,
Yeah.
at least we haven't had to do any ORN math yet. So, like,
Well, we screwed it up before the race, so...
well.
Here's your race summary at this point as we're just past halfway. 18 laps to go. We've had 3 lead changes now after the pass between DriveThrough and Cozy, plus the people under caution. 3 cautions, 2 of them for stage breaks, 1 for the accident on the opening lap. And we'll have 9 laps under caution once we finish this one, and we get back rolling. Next week... We thought we had a lot of cautions last week at Lanier. We're at Martinsville next week.
Oh no.
So Barney better get his arm workouts in before, because he's going to be waving that flag a lot next week.
I'm gonna have to bring something to do in the booth during these caution laps.
Bring a Sudoku or something.
Etch a sketch, maybe that ball in the cup game, you know. Taylor dropped
I'll
the
go,
back
I'll
of
go
the field.
pre-order some Martinsville hot dogs for you guys, and I'll send them on up.
Oh, that would be great.
And Harry, well, no. Harry
Oh,
Tiller
Harry.
is dropping to the
Harry,
back.
come on.
I think it's voluntary, but I'm not sure. He may have pitted at 2 to go. I think he pitted too late, and that's why he's stuck going to the back now.
Yeah, that could be it for sure.
I wasn't sure with the math on whether or not he had actually pitted in time or not, so that means the front row is DriveThrough and Cozy once again as the field comes through turn 8 off to turn 9, and the pace truck makes the hard turn to pit road once again.
Well, Cozy inherited the lead of the race with that. The whole inside line shouts up, and yeah. Here we go.
Green flag, 17 laps to go. DriveThrough sideways on the gas.
Oh, but he's not
That's
going
going
to
to put Cozy side by side to turn 1.
Oh, Cozy's going to take the lead out of turn 1, right up on the inside of that tire. The bump, the curb there is the word I was looking for. Cozy into turn 2.
DriveThrough looks underneath, doesn't have a lot of room down there, and can't get there through 2. Now they head to turn 3.
DriveThrough takes a peek. Nothing quite there for him. Let's Cozy get a little wide. And now he's going to... Ooh. And now Burton, and there's Champagne as well.
Yep, Champagne went down to cover the spot from Kusan, and now he's trying to get by to the 30 as they head to turn 5.
Kusan jumped up to 4th. Was that 5th place, I guess?
Yep.
Yeah, 5th place. Off the start already. Got ahead of Frisch.
Now he's on the back bumper of Champagne as they head up the hill.
Up the hill, down to the Mario Kart Double Dash Speedway. Straight away, whatever you want to call it.
And Cozy's already pulling away and gapping that 77 as they head to turn 8.
And that might be the last thing DriveThrough wanted to see, is seeing that 99 get out ahead of him. Because when you're the lead of this race, you have a little bit more control over everybody behind you. But if you're chasing them down, it's you're in Cozy's office now, and you got to play by his rules.
But you got to remember, these guys cannot make it to the end. They're going to have to pit before this race is done. Trouble. Cody H Gaming's around in the last corner. No caution, we stay green. Here's a replay. Just gets too wide, hits the grass, then hits the gas, and spins right in front of Tiller, and did nose it into the wall. He's able to keep it going, though.
Confirmation from race control. Harry Tiller did pit too late on
Yep.
that last stage. And that's where he didn't get to see that laugh at the front. I would have loved to
Yep.
have seen that restart.
Glad our race control guy, Caleb Hoffman, at least has a pulse this week. Up in the tower. 16 to go. Through turn 5.
And Cozy starting to gap him.
It's almost a second. But you got to wonder if he's maybe burning his tires off too much. But Ryan Burton is closing in on that 77 a little bit as they head up the hill to turn 8.
And how much of that is DriveThrough conserving his tires and serving his stuff? I wonder if he's going to want to try to make a run to get the lead before he pits, or set himself up for a better, for a better pit strategy coming out of the pits.
You okay over there?
Yeah, fine. Just bump my microphone. It's fine.
15
help you
laps
get
to
it.
go. You know, what did that microphone ever do to you?
Everything. It projects my voice to everybody else, so really it's what it does to everybody else.
There you go. Battle back here for 11th. Oh, and Sloppy tried to pinch Tiller even though he was way down there. Heading for turn 2. It's way back here in the back, but it's a battle nonetheless to turn 2. Tiller goes a little wide. Sloppy hangs on to the spot.
And Sloppy going to take that 11th spot, and Tiller almost did some more landscaping.
Oh, and here comes Tiller back on the inside.
Sloppy a little bit of wheel hop through turn 3.
And that's turn 4. Tiller is clear. And battle for 4th. Never mind, it's over. Kusan takes the spot, and here comes Easterday on the back bumper of Champagne. These two have a history.
That they do. I wonder if today is the day that somebody else might hit Champagne before he hits them.
It's in the 3rd stage. Easterday's a little too far back, I would think.
Yeah, I wouldn't count on Easterday doing anything rash here.
Now, if Champagne does something stupid, then I think Easterday will send him. Otherwise, I think he'll try and race him at least semi-clean.
I would say that Easterday is probably one of the most polite drivers on the grid, just as a person. So I think until we get into like a do-or-die situation, you won't see him actually do anything to Champagne. Unless, again, as you said, Champagne does something stupid.
Cozy's opened it up to a 1.2 second lead over DriveThrough, then another second back to Ryan Burton, then another second back to Keenan Kusan.
And the 3rd Canadian in the bunch is in 9th place right now.
Oh, trouble! Easterday just got moved by Kyle Cuthbertson, spinning back down in front of traffic. Turn 3, no caution yet.
Wow.
We stay green.
Ooh.
And it was contact between the 91 and the 53. Cuthbertson kind of just sends it up the inside here.
They had no business.
He just sent it. A little net code, but I mean, still
no reason to have your nose.
Still would have hit him. And Frisch somehow avoids him. And a slight little kiss into the inside wall.
Unfortunate for the driver of the 53. We're just talking about him, man, and how he was in a good position right there with Champagne, and well, now he's gone. Probably gonna need a full course yellow or some luck to go his way here if he's gonna get back into contention.
Yeah.
I don't know how far back he fell, but I think he's out of the top 10 now.
He's in 13th right now, and he's coming to pit road. It's gonna be close for him to make it the whole way from here on fuel.
Ooh.
And he hasn't been fast enough to kind of pull an undercut and make it work for everybody.
It's true.
But we'll have to see.
We're gonna have to see. So everybody kind of spaces themselves out pretty evenly.
Yeah. Closest battles between Gary Owen and Dale Reynolds right now. This is for the 8th position. Let's go on board with the 27 machine if we can here.
Turn it up? Do we have a turn it up? Can we turn it up? Is that a thing we can do?
Not really, no.
Aww.
Unfortunately not, as Gary Owen's blinking in and out, and Gary Owen's going off, and Reynolds almost follows him. See you later, pal. Gary's still out there. Harry gets by, and he'll fall into the clutches of Sloppy Joe.
Looks like he just overcooked it.
Yep. And now here comes Sloppy. This is for 10th.
Sloppy giving him plenty of space there.
Around the outside, trying to get there. Gary's still got a run on the bottom, even though he's blinking. Now he doesn't.
And he's going to take that spot handily.
How about the battle for 5th? Champagne and Cuthbertson headed for turn 1.
Now, this is an interesting pairing here because Champagne's usually a little bit faster. I don't know if he's a road course guy. But Cuthbertson has shown a strong resurgence after a slow start to the season.
Yeah.
Did pretty well Lanier last week, is up there in the top 5 for now. Wasn't he on the podium last week, I think? Was that
Cuthbertson?
Yeah.
Yes, I think so. I believe he finished 3rd.
Yeah, made it to the podium last week. A strong resurgence the late half of, towards the middle of the season for him. Good to see that. He, like a lot of other people at Daytona, had a bit of a struggle.
And Cuthbertson sends it in. There's contact. More contact. Still side by side. And now Cuthbertson's clear. And Champagne's in his draft now.
And right behind them, plenty of Frisch.
Yep.
who's been fast, but he's just not been in the right spot.
Headed for turn 8. I think Cuthbertson's kind of scared now that he made contact and is trying to get away from that 23 before the 23 gets back to him.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much of that is his fault.
And Frisch is coming in. Michael Frisch is coming to pit road.
Frisch playing the long game, going to play the fuel strategy game here towards the end of the race.
The first leader to come onto pit road.
Don't think he's expecting us to get any more yellows. As the field is now spaced out, I think, pretty well to have any more full course yellows.
Yeah, unless somebody's parked in the middle of the track. He's got an almost 2.5 second lead as, whoa, Cuthbertson, where are you going? Champagne gets back by him here. Headed for turn 3.
And these two...
Gary Owens off course.
Again.
In turn 2, he gets it back going straight. Workman.
Yeah, we just saw Frisch there. He's the first guy who's come down the pit. The window is just open to make it to the end. But some interesting strategy to think about here. So with everybody pitting here, if you're pit and you're close enough to the leader, you could still maintain your lead lap status. Therefore, if you're going to come down and pit and then catch a lucky break for a caution later, that will help you, obviously. So if you're the leaders up there, how long do you wait to make your pit stop in the event that a caution could possibly come out, and then you had to come down and make your pit stop after everyone else has already made it?
That's a tough call to make. It's going to depend on how many people pit and when. So if you're the leader, you can pretty much react whenever a majority of people hit the pits. You can hit the pits so that you're not caught on older tires longer. I would say right around halfway through the stage. Like I said, I should start seeing people between now and probably in the next 2 or 3 laps. You'll probably see everybody come down. I don't think anybody's going to pit with 5 to go or stretch it that far. But I think it's going to be all reactionary from the leaders, the top 2 there on who pits when.
KG has parked the car. He is done. And Brendan Littell has damage.
Wonder if that's related.
I don't think so. Nope, Littell just went off in turn 2 and clobbered the tire barriers.
No.
Oh, that's a hard hit.
Those tires are unforgiving, too.
Back to the battle for 5th between Champagne and Cuthbertson because they're still all over each other like cats on Velcro as they come out of turn 5.
And it looks like turn 5 is the place that Cuthbertson has been able to get side by side with Champagne there. So best spot on the track for him to do it. I've seen Champagne overcook the entrance of 5 2 or 3 times now. And all Cuthbertson needs is to be in the right spot.
Checking in on the leaders as they come through turn 9 and 10. Drive-through coming to pit road. Keenan Kusan coming to pit road. Ryan Burton stays out. Cozy stayed out as well. Here comes Champagne and Cuthbertson. They're both going to stay out. Harry Tiller's coming in.
I assume Drive-through going to try the undercut here. Gonna hope Cozy goes too far right in his box again.
Yeah, it's possible.
That's all very possible. I would
Since
assume
they're turning in like it's Watkins Glen here. They're pitting like it's at Watkins Glen. So they turn to the left or they turn to the right to come into their pit box instead of turning into the left like they do with the ovals.
Mm-hmm.
Brendan Littell, he's parked it.
Drive-through back out of pit lane behind Frisch. And the leader is coming down the long straight on the back.
Cuthbertson going to send it in again. This is now for 3rd. Just gets too loose on exit.
And here they go down Rainbow Road. Yeah, that inside lane coming out of 5 is just, it's not going to be great if you're going to try to get a long run off down the straight. You need that outside lane, which is the smart thing for Champagne to do is park that car on the outside lane. Don't give Cuthbertson. Make him work
Cozy's
for it.
in.
Make him move it. Make him move the car.
Race leader Michael Cozy Jr. is on pit road. Ryan Burton does the same.
Let's see if these guys come in too. I wonder if they're going to try to take
Champagne, yes. Cuthbertson, no. Dale Reynolds, yes. So Kyle Cuthbertson takes the lead here at CTMP for now.
And good for him to get that. I think it's a bonus point for leading the lap as well. Good for him.
Yep. I think Cozy got in his box cleanly. Drive-through's coming through turn 9 right now, headed for 10. He's behind Michael Frisch. Sloppy comes in. Cozy's now gone, and Cozy's going to retake the lead eventually when things cycle through. Here comes Drive-through. It's going to be close. And Cozy's off pit road, and Drive-through's out of turn 1.
Couldn't quite make the undercut work there. Now Cozy's on a 1 lap better tires. I mean, that's not going to be too much of a gap.
The only difference is that Cozy's on cold tires here.
Yeah.
DriveThrough's already up to speed.
DriveThrough, if he's going to close the gap, he's going to have to do it in the next lap or lap and a half before Cozy can get those tires up and growing. And Frisch is ahead of them.
Yep.
I think Frisch pitted as well, so Frisch is Frisch leading this race?
Frisch did the undercut. Frisch pitted first. He might be able to make it the rest of the way. He pitted 3 laps ago. So Frisch right now is your race leader. And he had some of the fastest laps on the day.
Plenty of Frisch playing the long game. Didn't expect to see him up here right now, honestly.
Cuthbertson through turn 9, he's in. So Cuthbertson to pit road.
And the leader's heading into the S's, turns 8, 9, and 10. And that should be the end of this. That should be everybody should have pitted there, yeah? And everybody should be able to go to the end, I think.
Yep. Easter Day, it'll be close for him. Everybody else should be good. DriveThrough almost dropped it out of turn 10. 7 to go, and Cozy's breathing down the neck of Michael Frisch.
Now, that's going to give DriveThrough a chance to catch up to these guys here and maybe be a factor.
I think DT's overdriving the car.
I mean, I assume he is trying to get that extra gap. Probably frustrated he's not up there leading this thing.
Cozy on the bottom in 3. Here he comes. Frisch will have the better line in 4, but not in 5.
Can Cozy keep it on the outside, or is he going to catch the grass here, which people have been known to do? Frisch had a better run out of it.
These two made contact back at Iowa. Remember, Frisch came up and thought he was clear, and he wasn't, and chopped the nose of the 99. Here they come out of turn 5.
And Frisch with a little bit of a better run on the high side out of 5, if you can really call it a high side.
Oh, here we go.
And they're side by side down the Mario Andretti straightaway.
Headed for turn 7, now turn 8. Up the hill. I think Cozy's got it unless Frisch can cross him over here. Into turn 8.
And Cozy going to
try it.
Look underneath. Not there. He's not there.
Turn 9. Now turn 10. Cozy leads again. 6 to go.
Still a brilliant strategy call by Frisch to get himself in podium contention, whether or not he can run Cozy back down or not. Frisch been quiet most of the race, been hanging out in that 5th to 8th range. It is now running second. Got a little loose out of turn 1.
DriveThrough's around. Saved it, but here comes Keenan full speed ahead.
Ooh, that's gonna
caught the grass, and that's gonna put him. That's gonna keep him in 3rd for the most part. He'll keep up the podium streak, but it's not looking good for a win or for the points battle.
And it's still not looking good. It's plenty of time for Kusan to get up there and make a move on him too.
Yeah.
Keenan, the only Kia in the field in that 03.
Go on board with the 03 machine as he tries to chase down the 77.
And everybody has fanned out pretty well. There's not much racing going on around the track. It's really going to be a matter of whether or not Kuzian can run down Davin here.
Mm-hmm. Closest battle, I think, is between Cuthbertson and Champagne. That's for P6. But even then, there's about half a second between them. 5 laps to go.
This race has gone by a lot faster than Lanier.
Well, it helps when you only have one actual caution flag.
That's very true. Instead of 16, I think is what we finished with last week.
18, I believe, last
18.
week.
Oh, my Lanta. Yep. Why? Until I stopped counting after a while.
Well, when we head to Martinsville next week, that'll be something. Cuthbertson's back on Champagne, turn 3.
Maybe we can play some Pictionary or something while we're waiting, while they're under caution at Martinsville. Play some tic-tac-toe, maybe some chess.
Something. We'll have something. The turn 5. Cuthbertson there on the inside on the fresher tires. Gonna try and run Champagne wide. Champagne with the better run on the high side, but Cuthbertson got out pretty good as well. Champagne hangs on.
if Cuthbertson's going to take that spot, he's going to have to get the elbows out because he keeps giving Champagne a lot of room.
Yeah.
Coming out of that turn, but he's going to need to either pinch him down or give him a little rub. Just get him out, kill that momentum for that 23 because he's been going wide and getting underneath, but he just can't finish the pass coming out of 5.
Cozy's almost double the lead he's had on Frisch in the last lap. Was 1.5 seconds. Now it's 3 seconds. So unless we see a full course caution, and remember we do have overtime, Cuthbertson saved it.
And there comes Reynolds right on the outside to jump on him.
Dale. He's kind of been a spoiler here this weekend. He said he thinks he's on pace with the leaders. He's just had an issue of keeping the car on the racetrack.
Yeah, consistent. You can be as fast as the leaders, but it's about keeping the car consistent.
Oh, like that.
Oh, yeah, just like that.
Cuthbertson gets it back, but the problem is now he's almost 2 seconds back on Champagne.
And he might not have the time to catch back up to Champagne unless Justin makes that mistake in that 23.
Yeah. Michael Cozy Jr. looking for his second win on the season after going winless in the first 2. Lost at Daytona, lost at Iowa. Came back strong and dominated at Lanier last week, and now here he is once again at CTMP. We talked to him after the end of Stage 1. Said he didn't think he had a shot. Well, and I tell you what, Michael Frisch, the tires have caught up with him because he is sliding all over the place and drive-throughs closing in.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Frisch like he's falling back here. He might wind up off the podium at this rate. We got 3 to go. It's possible. If DriveThrough can make the move, that was going to open the door for Keenan as well. As now it looks like it's going to be a battle for podium positions here as Cozy's checked out.
Yeah, he's long gone. And like I said, unless there's an accident or he is the accident, like what happened earlier where he went off pit road, I think he's got it in the bag. 1 car lap down at Cody H. Gaming. Ironically enough, he said that, oh good, I won't get lapped this time. Well, he's not the only one. Sloppy Joe's also a lap down. In fact, he's on pit road right now. And looks like the nose on that car is beat in a little bit. Harry Tiller's also on pit road.
Does Harry have any rear end damage? Because that would explain the damage on the front of the car.
No, he has no damage on the back of the car. Well, right rear has a little bit of damage, but I don't think it's from contact with anybody. Cuthbertson and Champagne are back again.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
Cuthbertson, my man, you're going to have to pull the elbows out. Get the elbows out. Champagne would do the exact same to you, and you know it. So I'm going to need
2 to go.
Going to need you to get the elbows out. Unless they're friends, then that would explain why he hasn't done it yet. But
well,
I mean, even so, I'd elbow my friends out of the way if I had to.
I'm being told that Sloppy rage quitted. So we'll see him next week at Martinsville.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Cuthbertson's right there. He's just so close to running into him. Champagne takes a defensive line. 2 laps to go.
Probably not the first instance of a driver rage quitting a core race, but I think it's the first iRacing a rage quit core race.
Yeah.
Well, the frustration happens.
Yeah, especially on a track that you're not used to like this. You know, you don't often come here on iRacing. Cuthbertson's trying to set up another move heading into turn 5. Now to turn 4.
Now, will Champagne...
Here he goes, here he goes!
Back him up.
Champagne blocks. Cuthbertson's going to stay in line. I think he finally learned his lesson. But he doesn't get as good of a launch off.
That was a smart move by Champagne there. He backed up the braking zone for Cuthbertson, so it threw him off his groove, threw him out of his rhythm. Couldn't make anything happen through turn 5 there.
White flag at CTMP. Cozy takes the white flag. Frisch has drive-through within a second. Not sure he's going to be able to get there. Then it's Cannon in 4th, Ryan Burton 5th, and then the battle we've been focusing on between the 23 and the 91 for 6th. Oh, here he goes, here he goes! Inside. Oh, Cuthbertson makes contact. He makes it work. Kyle Cuthbertson in P6 last lap.
Reynolds around the outside trying to make the best of a bad situation for Champagne there.
I can't imagine Champagne's got to be happy, but Cuthbertson did what he had to do. Reynolds sideways. Off of turn 2. Off turn 1. And Champagne's got to be driving angry now.
Oh, I bet. Foot to floor is
on board with the 23 car.
I mean, we set it up here in the booth. Got to get the elbows out if you're going to make the pass.
And that's what he did, but both cars are now out of control.
Both cars running probably running on cords on those tires now. Looks like they're sliding all over the place.
Ah, man, Champagne's going to drive it in deep here to turn 5. And he gets the better launch off here.
I'm just gonna
Up the hill for the final time. Checkered flag through turn 9 and now turn 10. Michael Cozy Jr. wins back-to-back. He wins at CTMP. Back to the battle for 6th. It's not over. I think Champagne might just be close enough to make a run at him through 9.
Ooh, and
Here he goes. Here he goes. Oh, he dumped him. And he turns back across. Can't save it. Champagne drives through Cuthbertson. Champagne will take 6th. Dale Reynolds 7th. Kyle Cuthbertson's going to limp across the line in 8th.
Oh, that's a heartbreaker for the 91. He's running so well.
Replay.
We said it. Champagne would pull the elbows out for you.
Well, and I tell you what, Cuthbertson did that to himself. He went a little wide in turn 8, and that allowed Champagne to just send it in there and get into the back of him.
Still might have went a little hard on that rear bumper there for the 91. I'm not sure he's very happy about that.
Let's go back. This is... Let's speed it up here a little bit. This is the move coming to the white flag lap in turn 10. Up the hill to turn 8. And, I mean, Champagne sends it into 9. Cuthbertson sends it deep into 10, brakes, caught the curb. If he wouldn't have hit the curb, I don't think he would have gotten into Champagne.
Even so, he hit him square in the door, so, like, it wasn't like he risked spinning him out. He just shoved him out of the way.
Yeah, he caught the curb a little too much, and that kicked him up into the 23, and instead, to retaliate, the 23 gives the chrome horn to the 91 and spins him out. Nonetheless, Michael Cozy Jr. is your winner. He's parked over somewhere. I think that's out of turn 1.
I'm not sure about that look there for Champagne. That does not look good.
Yeah, so let's pull the leaderboard down and pull up the results. Paging Michael Frisch, if you want to get interviewed, pop into Discord, please. We'll talk to our third place finisher, DriveThrough, here in, let's talk to him now. Here's your third place finisher, the 77 of DriveThrough. Third straight podium.
What? You're on the steps. You get to have the Champagne. It's not the top step, but third's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, I'll take a podium. I feel like I had more in the car today. Man, it's disappointing because I know it's our best shot of the win so far. And coming out third feels like a loss, but hey, we're continuing the podium streak. It'll be interesting to take a look at points. Cozy's the one guy I wanted to finish ahead of this week, and that certainly didn't happen.
And I'll tell you what, were you surprised to see Mike plenty of Frisch up there right ahead of you when you came out of that pit cycle? You've been quiet all day.
Yeah, what the hell? Yeah, he cut it really well. He worked the strategy. I knew I had better tires than him, but I had one big moment outside of turn 1. I don't know if you guys caught that, but
we did not.
Oh, what the hell? All right, y'all gotta go back. It was I was right behind Frisch, and I almost died out of turn 1, and it's just barely kept the car alive, but cooked the tires, and it was downhill from there.
So, do you have a lap number?
What the? Whenever the hell Frisch came out of the pits and we caught him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a long time ago. I don't know if I'll rewind that far.
So, you guys started as a freight train on the outside lane, the 3 Canadians. You're the only one to be on the top 3. Anything else you want to say to your fellow countrymen?
Yeah, it's nice to be here. Carl will be back. I'm sad we're leaving home with third place, but hey, it's a trophy. Also, I want to give a big shout out to Apex Visuals jumping on the car this week. It was really cool of them to reach out, and unfortunately we couldn't get a win, but hey, I'll take third. Car's looking good, nice shiny chrome. We actually kept it clean the whole race despite a little foray into the grass, but yeah, it's cool.
Hey, well, happy to have you up here again. Hope you can keep the streak going next week when we go to Martinsville. And we'll talk to you then.
There you have it, your third place finisher, DriveThrough. Still haven't heard anything from Frisch. Meanwhile, here is your race winner, Michael Cozy Jr. in the 99.
And here he is again, wins stage 1 and wins the most important stage, the one that gives him the race. How you doing, Michael?
I'm doing a lot better. I'm really pissed I threw away that point in the second stage, but made sure I didn't do it again. And I'm really happy I got through this race without something breaking, my internet going out, or me tripping over my Johnson. We're good.
You tripped over your Johnson in the second stage and tucked it back away so that you didn't trip over it again. And you come home with the dub. Yeah, you jumped out to a huge lead after you got by Frisch there as well. So did you just get the track figured out by the end of the race, or what happened?
Yeah, the first stage I was kind of figuring out because I hadn't done a race run. I just I had to see how the tires kind of what they did over the run and what to do and how to back up my corners. After that, also the track kind of gripped up a lot. I guess the temp went down, track temp went down. It got really grippy. I got down all the way to 119.3. I think I ran a 22, I think, in qualifying. So a lot of time pickup, but yeah. I was trying to pass DT and I got in there a little hot and I ran him wide and I was afraid I ran him wide, like way too wide. And I keyed up. I was trying to apologize. And before I knew it, I was overdriving the next corner and threw it away. But I knew I had it figured out at that point. I just had to get back to the lead. So yeah, this thing got fast and it was actually pretty darn fun.
Well, love to hear that. Love to hear you guys having fun out there. Any moments that really stick out to you other than, you stepping on your Johnson?
Other than the race win, I guess not. That one really, I'm gonna be disappointed about that for a while. I really hope I don't need that point going down the line. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I'm really this track. Let me tell you something. Props to all the drivers. This is probably one of the hardest road courses out there, in my opinion, in the stock cars. It's a really tricky track. A lot of elevation changes, a lot of grass, a lot of tricky curbs. So. Yeah, it takes a lot to get it right around here. So props to everybody, man. Everybody was clean, at least from what I saw. Poor Kia behind me off the start, man. Wadded him up a couple there, but he had a nice recovery. So I think, anyways, I saw him up there. But no, it was a fun race.
Well, man, we're happy to have you back up in the victory lane. Anybody you want to say hi to? Anybody you want to thank before you head out?
Hi to everybody out there watching, listening. How you doing? Glad to get another dub. I appreciate everybody for making the league go on. It was great to be here. I want to thank my sponsors, Starcom Fiber, Indie Racing Images, everybody else, all my Twitch subs, YouTube members who help me get out to the track each and every week, I guess. Thanks to you guys for broadcasting. I look forward to go back and watching it. And all the admins and everybody. I saw Caleb was actually doing stuff this week, so thanks to him.
By the way, speaking of doing stuff, congratulations, you are now the points leader.
Oh, hell yeah. All right.
That calls for another burnout.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. I was going to hit the jump, but I'll do another.
We'll take you back live here. Yep, there he is.
This one's a little bit harder.
It's a little hot, but if he is my encore.
Well, also a little hard to do a full track burnout at a 2-mile road course. So
that is true. All right, I'm done. I'm going to hit the jump.
All right, man. You have a good night. Get some victory Taco Bell, and we'll see you next week.
Hell yeah, sounds good.
Michael Cozy Jr., your winner. We do have our second place finisher, Michael Frisch. He's joined us. Here he is now.
Plenty of Frisch. You were quiet all race, played the strategy game, and came home on the second step of the podium, my man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. It's always a good time turning left and right.
Well, you more of a road course guy, or you more of an oval guy?
I'm more of an oval guy, but the last couple of years I've put my talent into the road side, and I learned a couple things, and it helped tonight, definitely.
And it looked like strategy played in your favor. You weren't really up towards the front. Most of the race, you were around the top 5 to 7 range the first couple stages, and then suddenly after this pit strategy on the last pit stop, you were up there and leading the race.
Yeah, pretty much strategy at that point was first couple laps, I actually wanted to see if I can go ahead and just save as much as I can, coast into the big corners and just save as much gas as I could, but I soon realized that wasn't going to work. I was going to be about a lap and a half short one corner that I wasn't going to be able to get back around them. Just being on old tires, you're pretty much always in defensive mode. You can never really go on offense. So that didn't play in my hands, so I just kind of had to not look in my mirror and just keep my pace up.
Yeah, so my internet had a stroke there, so we missed a little bit of that conversation. I don't know what that was about, but we're back!
It was just Davin getting really big in my mirror and then disappearing after like a
He
3
made
to go
the
or
mistake
something.
you were worried about making.
It never happened, thank God.
Made the 2-tire strap, made it work for you. Got a little bit of gas where you were able to save. So it was good to see you back up. Good to see you up on the podium. Good to see you here. Anybody you want to thank? Anybody you want to say hi to before you head out?
Just all my boys, Matt, Dalen, Tristan, all them. They're probably watching. I just want to give a big shout out to them. They know who they are, and you guys up in the booth for putting on a show every week, and the drivers. You guys do one amazing job.
Well, you guys give us a lot to talk about, so we're happy to have you up here. Hopefully we'll see you next week in Martinsville, and then have a good night, my man.
Thank you.
There you have it, your second place finisher, Michael Frisch. Final thoughts here at Trace before I go throw my router out into the street.
They should really put some sod down on those dead grass spots, I think. Because it's really not a good look for Canada. And maple syrup's not even the best syrup. So those are my 2 thoughts for the week.
All right, cool. Points lead, you see it there. Michael Cozy Jr. on top by 1 point over DriveThrough. Then Michael Frisch third, Champagne, Cosman, who didn't show up this week, Kusan, Cuthbertson, Easterday, Gary Owen, Harry Tiller, your top 10. We'll see you next week from Martinsville Speedway. Till that point, for Cody Workman and Trace Ryder, I'm Jacob Hitz. Michael Cozy Jr., your winner here at CTMP. See you next week.